Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am here with the gorgeous Vivian Gill, who is one of our brand new mentors for VIP. Vivian and I have been working very closely together on the workouts for VIP. And today we're going to share why we're doing what we're doing when it comes to strength training and when it comes to high intensity intervals. We want to give you that background. We want to share the science behind the strategy so that when you go to the gym or you do your home workout, you understand that why. Vivian, go ahead and introduce yourself and then we're going to dive right in.
Thank you, Amanda. Hey, everybody. I am Vivian Gill. I have been in the fitness industry for over 30 years. I'm also a nurse, so I come from the place of how exercise is used for general health, for wellness, not just what our perceptions of what it looks like in the fitness world. I am a certified personal trainer through NASM, through the National Academy of Sports Medicine, and I have probably over-degreed and over-certified myself working in this industry all of these years. And I love it. I love weight training. I love training women. I love exercise and empowering women to feel good and enjoy their exercise. It's supposed to be fun.
Absolutely. And ladies, Vivian is the best of the best when it comes to group exercise programming. I was so thrilled when she became a Fast Way to Fat Loss certified coach, and I quickly said, Vivian, I've got to hire you to now help with VIP and with some of the 6-week rounds. So we are just thrilled to have her here. So we are going to discuss why strength training, why high intensity. But before I even get into that, I do want to discuss or review that faster way to fat loss pyramid. You ladies know our main priority, so the top of that pyramid is whole food nutrition. We prioritize whole food nutrition with intermittent fasting and carb cycling. That is why the program is so effective. Nutrition, and Vivian and I would both agree with this. We're both trainers. We've both been in the industry, for years and years and years. Nutrition is what, 80% of the battle.
Oh, at least 90.
Yes, 90, yes. And I was going to say 90, but again, we're both trained. But yes, 90% of the equation. Nutrition is the key here, ladies. So if you're in a situation where you're not able to do workouts right now, focus on nutrition. Okay. If you are just getting started with workouts after taking 3 years off, focus on nutrition. Do our low impact version. If you are dealing with an overuse injury that you had coming into the Fast Way to Fat Loss, focus on nutrition and do the low. So we want to be sure that you understand that nutrition will remain our big priority here. Second priority is rest. It's so counterintuitive. Vivian and I are going to be educating you regarding this concept of rest. We should not have chronically elevated levels of cortisol every day, all day, every week, all month, every month, all year. That's actually going to be detrimental to our health, to our goals. So rest is our second priority. Third priority is strength training. So although we start the week with high intensity intervals, we do actually say, hey, listen, for the Fast Way to Fat Loss, strength training is an even more important and even more vital component of the success of the program. So strength training Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, very, very key. And then we move on to high intensity intervals. We will be discussing a research article that recently came out and said, hey, listen, there's a minimum amount of high intensity you should do per week, but there's also a maximum. Research shows that more than a certain amount of high intensity per week, and I posted a screenshot on our group page, it's actually that law of diminishing return. If you overdo it with high intensity, if you do insane workouts 7 days a week, you're going to have overuse injuries. You're going to cause adrenal fatigue. You're going to get a suboptimal thyroid function type concept. So it's important that we do incorporate high intensity, but in moderation, that perfect amount to maximize our results. So key. And then long form cardio is kind of our final priority there. We'll discuss kind of when to incorporate, why to incorporate. Many of you are runners, and that's so fantastic, but we don't want you to be doing your marathon training in addition to a leg day workout every day, type thing. So we will discuss that. Cardiovascular benefits are numerous as well when we incorporate a long form cardio type exercise, but it is our last priority in that Fast Way to Fat Loss pyramid. More is not better when it comes to workouts. And I know that you guys were squirming a bit, and Vivian and I were absolutely expecting that we would see a few people squirming on the page this past weekend as we kind of shortened that leg day workout. We knew we would get some questions, and we were kind of smiling when we saw that many of you are wondering about why we're doing what we're doing, pulling you back this week. So Vivian, let's go ahead and dive in. Why do we implement strength training in the fast way to fat loss? What is the purpose of strength training?
The purpose of strength training is to build lean calorie burning muscle. And the most common question you hear is, but I don't want to bulk up. We can't. We can't. We don't have testosterone. We're women, but we can be wicked strong. And strength training, ladies, it's about age 30, we start losing about 10% of our muscle mass per decade. So that is why metabolism slows down as you age. And by the time you get midlife, where I am, that is why the body changes. So strength training twofold. You build lean calorie burning muscle. It helps you with your body composition, which is why we're in the faster way to fat loss. But it's also about functional fitness. I hear a lot about knees and different things. Well, strength training will prevent back pain, knee pain, that sort of thing. So it's imperative for life.
Yes, absolutely. It is important that we are strong. And I love that you just used the word wicked strong. I mean, how many of us can raise our hand and say we want to be able to do everyday activities with more strength and endurance? Absolutely. I think that's a huge goal for us. And you guys know, body composition changes are important, and many of you joined the Faster Way to Fat Loss because you wanted to experience body composition changes. You wanted to maximize your metabolism. But it's even more important to us that we are getting well, preventing disease, and fulfilling our purpose with the energy we know you're meant to have. And you know, strength training is about preventing issues if you do strength training. So I love that, absolutely. Vivian, why do we do high intensity interval training? What is the purpose of HIIT?
So HIIT, and it ties into the strength training. One thing that strength training does is it releases human growth hormone. That's a piece of it that deals with the fat burning. So does HIIT training. High intensity, what the research has shown, as opposed to long form cardio, by tapping into, we have an aerobic system that you're using, meaning you just burn oxygen when you're doing long form cardio. And that is for heart health, and it has a purpose, and we can address that later. HIIT, high intensity, is anaerobic interval training, meaning you're not using oxygen as fuel, you're using that glycogen that we talk about all the time. It also releases human growth hormone, and it is designed to burn that glycogen out, which is why we do it with low carb, and it gets you fitter faster in less time. So it's very well placed, which what we talked about is what happens often is people think, oh, if this is going to get me fitter faster and I'm going to lose fat faster doing HIIT, then I'm going to do more of it. I'm going to seek that out. That becomes the rule of thumb for success. And particularly with HIIT, more is not better. It's just more. Less is more. I used to tell groups that I trained, we try and eat it like candy. You need to consider HIIT a very, very powerful drug that you're using for a purpose.
Yes.
This is why we do it twice a week. The total length is 30 minutes or less, because out of that 30 minutes, and I've talked on the page with some of the ladies, it's about heart rate.
Yes.
It's about taking your heart rate up 80 to 85% of your max. Somewhere in there, you cross over from using oxygen to relying on your anaerobic system. And it's out of that 30 minutes, you'll spend at most 20 above that. So do that twice a week. There's your 40 minutes per week, because above that, the potential for injury and overuse occurs because it is intense. It's hard. Your heart doesn't care how you do it. So the ladies that are like, I don't do burpees, or I need low impact, if the HIIT workouts don't work, do it on a bike, do it in the pool, do it, I mean, your heart doesn't care. You can vacuum and get your heart. I mean, seriously, your heart does not know. It's about maximal effort and rest. That's the other piece. You want to push it to where you can't go and rest. It's not about finishing the time, doing reps the entire length of time. It's about smashing yourself, and that requires recovery. And another thing it does, the way we design it, is you're also using fast twitch and slow twitch muscle. So therefore, more glycogen, more calories, more, making it efficient where you don't need to spend the rest of your week for body comp, for glycogen, doing long form cardio. You just need to take walks.
Absolutely. Let me reiterate what you just said. So with high intensity interval training, which we also call Tabata training, we call speed burst sprints, we are doing fat burning cardio, muscle building cardio in many cases. We strategically do 2 high intensity workouts per week. And as Vivian mentioned, we get our heart rate in that 80 to 85% max, sometimes over that 90%. We don't want to be over 90% for more than, say, 30 to 40 minutes maximum per week. And you ladies have got to trust us on this, okay? Trust us on this. We want you to maximize your experience in the fast way to fat loss. We are here because we want to help you. We want to equip and empower you to experience an incredible transformation. But if you're doing more than 40 minutes, over 90% of the per week, then we have that law of diminishing return where we're causing overuse injuries, okay? And we're not making this stuff up. Vivian and I aren't just over here making this stuff up because we don't want you to have fun doing a high intensity interval workout 6 days a week. We're not making this up. We're looking at research. We're looking at the most updated, the 2018 research to say, hey, we're going to leverage cutting edge fitness and nutrition strategies to help you really maximize your experience here. We want to prevent adrenal fatigue. Listen, I cannot sleep at night if I know that people in VIP are training for a marathon, going to Orange Theory 6 days a week, doing my high intensity fast way to fat loss workouts in addition, doing my, not on my watch, okay? Not on my watch. I want to prevent you from adrenal fatigue. I want to prevent you from these hormones. I want to prevent you from running yourselves out of hormones, okay? Which is what a lot of women do. And it's not your fault. The wellness industry, the fitness industry has actually told you, they've told us to do 7 days a week of insane workouts. They've told us that. But now Vivian and I are saying, hey, listen, we're not going to do that. We're going to do this. And we want you guys to trust us, and you're here, you're invested in VIP because you trust that we have your best interest at mind. So when we share these tips with you, or when we pull you back a little bit from workouts just for an educational experience of, hey, you don't need 60 minutes on a leg day to really see great results, trust us. And then we'll come and say, here's the science, and here's the research that we're doing to support what we're doing. Yes.
Everything has a purpose.
Absolutely, 100%. Vivian, would you please share with us your top tips for how to maximize our workout? So when it comes to the strength training and high intensity, what are your top tips?
Top tips. Let's start with the HIIT. And here's one thing that may be revolutionary in thought that's hard for people to understand, because you're like, oh, I can do this kind of hard effort for 45 minutes. If you can sustain that type of work effort for 45 minutes, you're not doing HIIT. You're working out intensely, but it's not HIIT. So those benefits of the human growth hormone using and burning the glycogen, you're not getting those. You may feel a burn, but scientifically, your body cannot produce it. So my top tip is on Monday and Tuesday, keep it to less than 30 minutes and go harder. Go as hard as you can, because it's about maximal effort safely. That's my top tip there, to move safely. And then we can look at how different people move and all of that later. But go hard so that you must rest, so you get the benefit. And then we'll discuss some other time, you must fuel the bottom of our pyramid. To be able to do that, you've got to have the fuel on board. We cannot underconsume and perform at that level. That is key. Whether it's HIIT or let's go to strength training. My top tips for strength training is to get acquainted with your body and start to become mindful. Strength training needs to be about core first. We use big compound movements, but we need to create a mind to muscle connection and slow down our movement. So it's understanding I must stand, posture, and engage my core before I move. That's half the work, regardless of whether you're doing a bicep curl or a chest press. That the point of weight training is to feel your body and build better posture while you're building muscle. We need to work on stability, core strength, so that we can develop and take on heavier weights. And it's not in knocking out 1,000 reps, it's in the program design and being smart and picking the right load and tracking your progress. That is a top tip. In the weight training, track your progress. I keep a log. We have the success planner that we have where you need to see strength over time. So if you don't know a gym, if you work out at home, that's one set. You may need some more equipment because we're incorporating more band work as a part of our core focus and stability. I'm all about functional fitness. We're going to get you the body comp results, but as a community, we need to focus on functional fitness so that we can get up and down out of our chairs, so that you can carry that child around on your hip and not have your hips be off, so that I can remember when I played single parent, when my husband traveled, I wanted to be able to move the furniture in my house by myself. We need to be wicked strong so we can be independent in life.
Absolutely. Love it. I love the tip regarding tracking because I know many of our VIP ladies have kind of fallen in love with tracking at certain times and then fallen out of love with tracking. It's so important that we are tracking. Absolutely. And ladies, leverage that success planner, leverage your own notebook. If you see progress with the increased weights, then we know we're doing the right things. And you'll see that we incorporate some low volume or high volume at different times for the strength training workouts. So I love, love, love that tip. Thank you so much. 2 more minutes we have here. Let's address why not to do all the things. So again, we have shiny object syndrome. We've got Orange Theory. We've got CrossFit. We've got spin. We've got this. And there's nothing wrong with any of those. In fact, I love my Peloton bike. I do my spin on my active recovery days. I love, trying out different workouts. But why should we not do all the things? And then how do we kind of determine what to do, when to do, why to do, how to do? So maybe we want to go to an Orange Theory workout. When do we do that? And how do we kind of accommodate for some of our other interests?
Well, first, let's just say a lot of the reason we want to do these things is about community. Nobody wants to go to Orange Theory because they're by themselves. They want to go because they're with their friends. Or you want to do marathons and whatnot. Some of that's solo training, but you're doing it typically with friends. I mean, all about community. So if you have a purpose to wanting to do that, let us help you build and structure your training around that.
Yes.
That needs to be your focus. But if you're doing all the things all the time, you're not training with purpose. More is just more. It's not better. And I can guarantee you're not nutritionally supporting the activity. And it leads to all the adrenal fatigue that we talked about when really, ladies, we need enough energy for life. If you're working out so much that you're exhausted and you don't have the patience for your kids in the afternoon or in the evening because you're grinding at the gym so hard, that's a sign that you're spending too much energy there. Exercise is supposed to empower you to live your life.
Yes.
Not be your life.
Yes, you should feel better after your workout versus depleted and like you have to take a nap. if you're getting home from your workout and you're like, oh my goodness, I need a 2-hour nap, then we know we have something that we should address. Okay, so really good point there, Vivian. And Vivian will be on the page later on through this month, and of course, moving forward through the quarter and then 2019, sharing our top tips, even saying, hey, ladies, if you have a knee issue, if you have this, here's how to address that. Vivian is here for you. I am here for you. We want you to maximize your workouts, whether it is in the gym, at home, or through that low impact version. We love you, ladies. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let us know if you have any questions. We're happy to answer them in the thread below. Vivian, thank you for your time. And we'll be talking to you guys soon. Bye, everyone.
That's that.